So what's going on, guys? My name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel today. I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. In today's video we're going to be spicing it up a bit and doing something different by looking at the top 10 most iconic moments in FIFA history in my opinion. I just thought I'd let you guys know that this is not in an order because that would be too difficult for me to choose, and they are not all good things. There are some negative things because what is FIFA without controversy? But just before we get into the video, guys, I would appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and also turn on notifications so you're actually notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside, guys, let's jump in to number 10. So when we talk about iconic moments in FIFA history, one of the first things that pops right into my head is the final between Vitality Rocky and Unilad Shells in FIFA 17, where they were competing for $400,000. To give you a bit of context, it was 4-4 on aggregate in the dying moments of the game, and this is where away goals used to count in FIFA 17, so Shells was going through on away goals at 4-4 until this happened. If you guys were around during FIFA 17, I have no doubt that you'll probably remember that moment. Absolutely insane. Did look a bit like 90th minute cheese, but when I think of FIFA 17, I personally think of that moment, and that's why I've decided to put it in this list. Let me know down in the comments below if you remember that, and let's move swiftly on to number 9. Now, March 2015 was one of the most controversial times in FIFA history, and this was because EA introduced price ranges. Now, I'm pretty sure you're all aware, but price ranges are where a player or an item will have a minimum price range and a maximum price range. As you can see here with Messi, who has a minimum of 5 million and a maximum of 7.5 million. Now, we're sat here in 2019 probably thinking, how was that a problem? You know, we've got price ranges now, everything's completely fine, traders are still making money and everything. But the main problem came with how EA introduced it and how it came mid-year. I'm sure you all remember, but in FIFA 15 there was a massive issue of hyperinflation in the market, which is essentially where money is worthless as there is so much of it in the game. I remember you used to be able to buy like 10 million coins for about £100, no joke. And these price ranges were brought in to stop the process of illegitimate coin selling and buying, because you cannot, overpay for a player and you cannot sell a player for less, And coin sellers were the reason for this hyperinflation because everybody was buying coins, which meant nobody needed FIFA points, which meant EA weren't making as much money, which means EA are going to change something. So yeah, they introduced price ranges, and the main issue with price ranges is that they usually made no sense. Now, this was taken from one of KSI's old videos, but as you can see, 90 rated Luis Suarez had a minimum price range of 9.6 million coins and a maximum price range of 14.4 million coins. And you can see here that the 91 rated Luis Suarez has a minimum of 4 million coins and a maximum of 7 million coins. So the higher rated Luis Suarez with better stats goes for millions of coins less than the lower rated one. What? But yeah, the community was not very happy with EA, people threatening to boycott the game and everything. It was pretty ugly for EA at the time. I could talk about this for ages, but unfortunately we don't have the time, so we are going to move on to number 8. So if you cast your minds back to FIFA 13, there was one man that was on top of the entire FIFA community, and that guy was KSI. Team of the Year had just arrived and there was 100k packs in the store. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what's coming next, so I'm just gonna roll the clip. Now guys, I'm not usually one for packs or pack reactions, but if we're talking about iconic moments in FIFA, that is definitely one of them, and it's definitely a moment that a lot of the community will remember from back in the day. Now, KSI has moved on to different things later on in his career, but no one can deny that he was once on top of the FIFA world and is the reason that this game is so popular on YouTube to this day. For that reason, I think that clip is worthy to be on this list, and with that aside, guys, let's move on to number 7. So if you're a FIFA player, competitive or casual, I can pretty much guarantee that you've had a FIFA rage in the past. or multiple. Whether you are a calm or an angry person, I think it's pretty much easy to agree on that FIFA brings out the worst in people. And unfortunately, even if you're a pro player, you are not safe from FIFA rage. The clip you're about to see is from a FIFA 18 Pro event where Dr. Ohano, who is a pro player, rage quit live on air. Just take a look at this.
In terms of this matchup, as we see, looks like a rage quit there.
But yeah, as you've just seen, a pro player rage quit on an event because the game was that bad. From what I can make out from the original video, the guy was just passing it around the back and there wasn't really a way to apply pressure back in FIFA 18 to someone that was passing it around the back line, so I can imagine he was just getting very frustrated and decided to quit. Now back in FIFA 18, I do remember people talking about this clip quite a lot. It's got over 1 million views on YouTube alone and it got quite a lot more on Twitter, I do believe. But yeah, that's why we've decided to put this into the list, and with that aside, let's move on to number 6. Now back in FIFA 16, one of the biggest problems FIFA had ever encountered did arise, and it was known as the chemistry glitch. Now to sum this up quickly guys, this was essentially where special versions of players, so in other words like informs and that, their cards could only ever reach base chemistry, which is 4. Now I believe this was uncovered by a guy who was practicing in skill games using a skill move that required 85 dribbling to do. Now if I'm not mistaken, the base version of the card with its full boost was able to do it, so they were on 10 chemistry and they were able to do it because obviously their dribbling stat was above 85. Now supposedly the special version of the card was also on 10 chemistry apparently, well at least visually, and when they went into the game to do the skill they couldn't do it, which meant their dribbling was under 85, which wasn't suggested by the card. When this was exposed, many people were threatening to boycott and even tried to sue EA for false advertising because obviously these cards were not what they were made out to be. And the crazy thing is, this glitch might have been in the game for years without people even realizing. So an example of this is here. If you look at normal Pepe with boost, which is 10 chemistry, you can see he has 75 pace, 88 defending and 85 physical. Now you can see Pepe with 4 chemistry, his international man of the match card, has less pace, only 1 more physical and the same defending. And obviously the rest of his card is considerably worse. I've decided to put this on the list because if this wasn't discovered, the game would still be even more broken today and we wouldn't even realize. And with that aside, let's move on to number 5. Now I feel like it's only fitting that I pay tribute to a man that pretty much built my channel, well at least given me the exposure to grow, and that is none other than nepenthez. In FIFA 17, Nep produced one of the funniest lines of rage I have ever heard. It was so simple yet so effective, so I think we should enjoy this one together. Oh, just a volume warning, it gets quite loud.
Penrith!
Now what makes this clip so funny for me is that you can just feel the pure rage in his voice and it's not fake in the slightest like a lot of the FIFA YouTubers today. If you go onto Nep's channel, even today you'll see comments that are saying Penref every now and then because the clip is that iconic to nepenthez' channel. And Nep, I still love you even though you did block me on Twitter. Now let's move on to number Arsenal. Now FIFA 18 was a very controversial time for the YouTuber by the name of Krazy. Now I'm pretty sure you all know who Krazy is, but if you don't, he has 400,000 subscribers and pretty much just makes videos like the rest of FIFA YouTubers on FUT Champions and Rivals. Now controversy arrived for Krazy when he went into a FUT Champions weekend league and came out with 29 wins, but that wasn't the problem. The problem was the way he did it. Well, supposedly at least. I'm not here to start arguments or accuse people of things. Supposedly there was video evidence of Krazy losing at least 3 games in the weekend where he went 29-1, which just doesn't seem to add up, does it? So it was suggested that Krazy used a no-loss glitch where he played on 4G connection off his phone, and when somebody rings him, it disconnects him from the game without him getting a loss. So if he was losing a game, he could get somebody to ring him and he wouldn't end up losing the game, which means he'd still have the same amount of games as if he hadn't just played that match, allowing him to go 29-1. On the other hand, Krazy was an ex-pro player that won multiple tournaments, so it's no surprise that he was able to go 29-1 if he did it legit. But enough on that, let's move on to number 3. Now number 3 is where pro player Kurt was banned from the FIFA 19 Global Series for verbally abusive behaviour to other people in the FIFA community. After a series of tweets like this one where he calls people pussies and just craps on the game, EA decided to take action and actually ban Kurt. We've never seen anything like this before. Now to me and to many other people, this was crazy because Kurt was just speaking his mind. What he was saying to other people wasn't exactly offensive, it wasn't bad, like we've heard much worse and it goes unpunished. And people felt very strongly about the ban. They never thought it should be in place, they didn't think Kurt did anything wrong, and they started to go for EA. They started to go for them at every single post with like the hashtag free Kurt and everything like that. It was going into their team names, and EA decided to release a statement about it. The statement reads that EA has a clear commitment to not tolerating abusive behavior towards the players and communities around the game, including offensive language, targeted threats, or personal harassment. Because of that, EA state that Kurt was banned from the global series for 2 months, which is actually quite a long time in competitive FIFA. And it became apparent that EA did not like Kurt at all, because eventually you weren't able to put free Kurt into your team name, you weren't able to put it in their Twitch chat, so EA were basically just trying to get rid of this guy. And I think the main reason for the ban was that he was the only one speaking out against EA, and they don't like that. But moving on, let's go on to number 2. Now on March 29th, 2019, which actually happens to be my birthday, was the first ever Premier League finals, where one player would represent each team in the Premier League to try and win the entire tournament. For a bit of context guys, I actually made it to the Brighton playoffs at the Amex and lost in the quarterfinals to the winner actually. But anyways, in the first ever Premier League came one of the greatest moments I've ever seen in competitive FIFA, where F2Tex managed to win the final in the 120th minute. Just take a look at this, guys.
Coming across to deal with him, ball into the box, Kelly with a header!
Unfortunately, I can only show you snippets from these clips, otherwise I'd get a copyright strike on my channel. But yeah, what an insane moment that was for F2Tex. The guy is having an incredible season. I think he's won like 3 FUT Champions Cups or something absolutely ridiculous. And he also won the Premier League on top of that. Congratulations to him, and let's move on to number 1. Now I know I said this wasn't in order because it was too difficult to pick, but this is the only one that I think is in order. And this is going back to FIFA 15, where Castro did a 50-hour charity stream. Castro raised over $84,000 for a cancer charity, and as a result got his own 95 rated hero card within FIFA 15. More than deserved. I would show you guys the clip, but unfortunately I'd probably get a copyright strike because of the music used. But if you guys want to go and watch the original video, there will be a link down in the description because it's absolutely amazing, and I personally think it's the greatest moment in FIFA history because it shows what the community can do when you come together. But anyway guys, that's about it for this video. If you have enjoyed it or found it informative, I would appreciate it if you could leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and also be sure to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all later for another upload. Peace.